This is your Kick-Ass Life podcast, episode number 204.
And here's your host, the girl who serves it up straight with a side of crazy, Andrea Owen.
Ass Kickers, welcome back. You're back. Thank you for joining me for my first week of the Daily Diaries. This has been so incredibly fun for me. I hope that it has been helpful for you, and I'm super extra excited to bring to you today's episode because this is where the last 4 days of me telling my story comes together for you. And I'm inviting you to apply that into your life. So if you're just joining us, this is going to make absolutely no sense to you. So I invite you to start from the beginning on episode 200. All episodes are 10 minutes or less. And then come and join us on this here, episode 204, where this all comes together. Because on Monday, episode 200, I talked about noticing that I had an upper limit problem. And I talked to you about what that actually is and what that might look like in your life. Episode 201, I talked about even when you have success, there are still pitfalls of feeling not good enough. Episode 202, I talked about facing something big and important that challenged one of my old negative core beliefs, and it put it all to the test. It just really pushed me out of my comfort zone. Episode 203, I talked about doing something big, another big thing that not only pushed me out of my comfort zone, but carried a lot of emotional weight, and the lesson that I learned from that I think you all can relate to. So today, as that all comes together, I've created a handy dandy worksheet for you that you can download and do yourself. So you alongside me can do the work. If you go to yourkickasslife.com/204, you can find it there. You'll see the show notes and a yellow button where you can download the worksheet. I always talk to you. I get a little fired up about this topic. I always talk to you about the importance of not just consuming the book, listening to the podcast, reading the article, but doing the actual work. I hear from so many of you that you sort of fall into that trap of consuming and maybe even like hoarding all of the information and the tools, but not actually applying them to your life. And you're wondering why your life isn't changing. My friend Nicole Antoinette was on the podcast and she said, in order to change your life, you have to change your life. So just consuming is not actually changing your life. You can't read a book about becoming a faster runner and suddenly become a faster runner. You have to actually put it into practice and do the work. So now is your chance. I'm going to read through these questions, but in the actual worksheet, there are more questions, and there is so much power in actually putting pen to paper or even typing it up. Like, I'm fine with that. I let you off the hook. I do a lot of work on myself via typing anyway. Doesn't matter. Just so you are processing it and getting it out. This is how you gain the awareness so that you can change. Okay, here's some of the questions. Where has an upper limit problem been created by you? Where can you do something to stretch yourself that scares you, but in your heart, you know it's all to make you better and to gain the life that you want? Where, even in your successes, have you felt not good enough? Even when you feel like you, quote unquote, should feel good, even when other people think of you as good enough, but you still feel not good enough. Where, even in your successes, have you created comfort zones where you know if you stepped out of it, you could get more of what you want? Is it in your relationships, in your single life, at work? Where? Write it down and know it. Is there anywhere you're judging your feelings or emotions? Where can you hold more than one feeling and emotion? And again, if you're like, I have no idea what she's talking about, go back and start at episode 200 where this will all make sense. And the last question is, what action can you take today or this weekend or next week? Again, I beg you, ass kickers, please do the work. Even if you make it a goal of just answering one question on that worksheet, just the one. I always say sometimes baby steps are a little bit too much. They're too big and gigantic. What if you just took a turtle step? Your turtle step is answering one question on that worksheet and see what comes up. If you feel like answering more, fantastic. If you don't, you still took a step. You still did more than just consume the information and go about your day. I want more for you. I know you want more for you too. This is your chance. And again, that worksheet can be found at yourkickasslife.com/204. All right, ass kickers, thank you for coming with me this week on my first week of the Daily Diaries. And next week, I'm going to be sharing various stories that I just feel like have so much meaning. Everything from a story about ladybugs, a story about my daughter weeping, a story about me going to rehab. Just stay tuned. Stay tuned next week. More great stories and more lessons for y'all. Thank you so much for being here. And until Monday, I will see you out in cyberspace. Bye-bye.